protecting the gains. PPF party fails to spot opposition party to back for presidency in 2026. National Unity Platform hands over list of 2026 candidates to party president Chagulanyi. And FDC President Nathan Nandala Mafabi launches campaigns in Wikwe, promises every village 100 million shillings.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyor Mo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. We begin this bulletin in Munyonyo, where President Yoweri Museveni has re-echoed the need to redirect the youth who seem to be falling prey to the Western cultures and politics. While launching the NRM manifesto for 2026-2031 at Munyonyo Commonwealth Resort in Kampala, Mr. Museveni was worried and needed to reshape the youth who holds Uganda's future.
Jobs. Where did jobs come from? Jobs come from wealth. Yes, there are a few public service jobs, but those are not enough for all the people of Uganda. The bigger number of jobs is from the private sector. And when people, but how does the private sector create jobs? You create wealth. The wealth is yours, your personal wealth. But in the process, you create jobs. 1.2 million Ugandans now, those factories, the 50,000 they talked about. The whole of the public service is 480,000 jobs. But these new factories, which have just come, because you can see they're all brand new, they're already employing 1.2 million people. But agriculture, you saw here, can employ even more Ugandans than the factories alone, without including coffee and so on. But what I wanted you to see was the workers now. He's now employing 26 people. And the land there he was using was only 2.5. There's another man called Nyakana who used 1 acre and point something. And he employs 15 people. And I have made a calculation for you, saying that, okay, if Nyakana and the people like Biamkama can employ 15 people using 1 acre, what if we had people with land and we had 7 million acres owned by some of our people who use it like Nyakana? You calculate and you will see. The jobs we shall create will be 105 million jobs. So, what about Nyankore Koro Kuchola Mirwa? You know, when people can't think properly, must end. You find people talking about things as if people going to the Middle East to look for, what are you going to look for jobs for? The Middle East should be coming here to work here. You leave jobs here, you go to work in the Middle East. Now, this year I'm coming now, just to...
Now, leaders in the National Resistance Movement Party have pledged full support to the implementation of the Party Manifesto 2026-2031. The manifesto has been launched by the party president, who is also its chairman, Yoweri Museveni. Among the key elements emphasized include enhancing digital methods of fighting against corruption in the public and private sectors.
The National Resistance Movement, leaders from across the country, gathered at Speak Resort Munyonyo for the unveiling of the party's manifesto for the 2026-2031 term. During the event, NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong presented a report on the party's performance under the outgoing manifesto, which focused on the theme, securing the future. Todong highlighted progress in job creation, attributing it largely to increased investment in industrial parks across the country.
We are happy to report that due to the prudent economic measures, new jobs are being created. Our jobs have increased from 258,286 in the financial year 2020-2021 to 345,039 jobs. The shilling has been the most stable currency in Africa. During the financial year 2024 to 2025, our shilling gained value as many other currencies lost theirs. Factories have increased to an estimate of 50,000.
Despite the progress, Todong acknowledged a persistent challenge with 33% of the population still trapped in the subsistence economy.
Proportion of households living in grass-thatched houses decreasing from 37.6% to 25% in the same period. Ugandans can now access safe and clean water. Currently, 68% of population in the rural within the walking distance of 500 meters and 71% in urban areas within a walking distance of 200 meters.
When you look at my side of Tororo Road, you look at Mbarara Road, you look at Gulu Road, he has really handled extremely on infrastructure, agriculture development. He has done on a modern agriculture. When you look at the BDM, whereby behind those days we could not really afford even to do poultry.
The newly launched manifesto outlines key priorities, including expanded infrastructure development, greater investment in human capital, commitment to regional integration, and focus on nurturing the next generation of political leadership. Special interest groups, such as the fishing community, are expected to benefit significantly from government programs like Emyoga.
Because the fishing community will need a special fund for them, since for them 1 million and Emyoga is so little and their needs are bigger than 1 million. So if we focus those people who are supposed to benefit, in the next 2 or 3 years we should have reached almost everybody. Under Emyoga, we have so far spent 660 billion, and this financial year we are adding on another 100 billion.
For long the fishermen have suffered. They don't get tools, they don't get, like when others are given seeds, like maybe agriculture, on the side of animal industry they get animals. For us, we have not been getting nets, we don't get boats, we don't get, apart from aquaculture which gets fingerlings. Now this time, the president has also given 1 billion per region, which is going to help boost. 1 billion should be able to help the circles, the fishery circles.
In addition, the party pledged increased investment in the energy and housing sectors. To support affordable housing, Housing Finance Bank will be recapitalized with the aim of lowering mortgage rates for Ugandans. Education also features prominently in the new manifesto. The government plans to pay over 50,000 teachers, a move intended to eliminate school fees in public institutions and ensure free access to education.
There has been teacher absenteeism, but the ministry has now gone digital in supervising teachers. They have introduced a system called Teller.
To tackle corruption, the NRM plans to leverage digital innovations, including the introduction of body cameras, as part of its anti-corruption strategy.
Most of you watch TVs, international TVs or films. You see the police in the rest of the world have body cameras. Whatever they are doing, it is being monitored. So when we introduce them, gradually, maybe starting with the metropolitan, we should be able to reduce on the level of corruption and good governance.
Leaders who attended the launch pledged full support for the manifesto are committed to ensuring its effective implementation to ensure that the gains are protected.
As a leader of the party, as a representative of the people of Pingire, I am part and parcel of the manifesto that has been launched. I do not have to have my own manifesto as a member of parliament for Pingire because I am facilitated, sponsored by the party. So this manifesto that has just been launched is for the entire country. And so implementation now, starting from today, we are going to live here and we are going to rally our people, first of all, explaining to them.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Daniel Mugoya reporting there, and of course NRM members are promising to support the party manifesto 2026-2031. Now, the People's Front for Freedom, PFF party, has not spotted any party that they would be ready to support for presidency following a decision of not fronting any presidential candidate from their party. The Deputy President, People's Front for Freedom, Waswa Abirigwa, says, however, the party will contest every elective position except that one of the presidency. This was disclosed at the party headquarters at Katonga during the launch of the 2026 campaign here in Kampala.
Party members chanted songs praising the party and President Dr. Kanu Kizza as members of the People's Front for Freedom gathered at the party headquarters to launch the 2026 campaign. This was graced by aspiring candidates in different positions, including members of parliament, councillors, mayors, among others.
I'm a full member of the PFF.
The deputy leader, Wasabirigwa, explained that the decision not to field a presidential candidate was a deliberate strategy to support one unifying opposition flag bearer.
We've done everything possible, and we have several candidates who have been nominated, and we have had several meetings with at least two of them, Noop and Ant.
But unfortunately, there are some supervening factors which were beyond our control. And there are quite a number of imperatives that we needed to put into consideration in arriving at a particular decision. Say, for example, even if we are to pronounce ourselves on a joint candidate we are supporting, how about the rest of the candidates across the board? How about a joint platform or campaign platform? Which message are we going to put across if you want a platform? And for us, our symbol is a phone. And you have another candidate who has a different symbol.
The event also honored PFF leaders who remain in prison, described as symbols of sacrifice and courage.
May the souls of our comrades rest in eternal peace.
Supporters were urged to remain strong, face intimidation with bravery, and carry forward the struggle for freedom.
These elections defined as poisonous. That means we are not wanted. And that is coming from none other than the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. This country is not safe. If that can be a statement by a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, that already defines our responsibility to this country.
PFF's 2026 agenda highlights reclaiming Uganda's lost glory, stolen, dismantling, corruption, and militarism.
So sad for us that our leader is now 8 months in prison. Well, I know I'm on that charge sheet, and I'm waiting happily waiting to be taken in, together with Lord Mayor Lukwago and Nganda.
Candidates were urged to campaign relentlessly with hard work to achieve victory.
PFF!
They vowed to support the party president Dr. Kizza Besigye once brought in court.
Wednesday, this week, the day after tomorrow, 1st of October, all roads lead to High Court. High Court Kampala here, next to CPS, CPS and Constitutional Square. You should all be there by 9.
Some of the aspiring candidates highlighted the reasons for standing to represent the people.
Yagezaho kulaba nga nwanira abavuka okufuna emirimu buli plan yonna eneebazze ku council ku division yagezaho kulaba nga client mujjako enamba y'okulaba nga nfunira abakozi abantu abatasukka mu 10 mu kitundu kyaffe ekya Namuwaya zize okulwanirira abantu ba wansi naddala security mu kitundu ky'enjeru mu kitundu kyaffe abantu bazze bafuga okuva wansi nga beeyagaliza bokka olugenda mu council mu division y'enjeru tebafaayo kudda babega wansi. Yagezaho okulaba nga mpita mu chairman Mayanja chairman Sajjabbi owa Namuwaya okulaba nga ntuuza enkiiko oluvannyuma lwa weeks nga 2 okutwala ebiteeso byammwe ku division.
The launch ended in high energy, marking the beginning of what PFF calls a decisive battle for the nation's future. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Still with party politics, members and supporters of the National Unity Platform NUP party gathered at the party headquarters at Makerere, Kavle, awaiting the arrival of their president, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. The occasion marked the handover of the official list of parliamentary flag bearers who will represent the party in the 2026 general elections.
Dressed in outfits reflecting party colors and desert cop shoes, supporters appeared ready for the long journey to Jinja, where the party launched its manifesto to officially kick off the campaign. After the arrival of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the National Unity Platform Electoral Management Committee presented a list of candidates to Kyagulanyi.
Results of members of parliament. People power. Our power. People power.
The committee confirmed that the list will be shared publicly on social media tonight.
And the entire world, that these results will be posted on our official pages in the evening. That is where you will find them. And like we've always said, may the best candidate win.
Kyagulanyi Ssentamu emphasized that those who have been given cards and those who have not need to work together.
And like we've always been saying, all of you are good, but this card, the party flag, can only go to one candidate. So congratulations in advance to those that won, and to those that did not win. We encourage you to be decent. We encourage you to continue building yourself.
He was also joined by leaders Mityana North aspirant Isaac Tumusange, who emphasized maintaining peace throughout the campaign period.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are setting off. We are going to embark on a mission to freedom. Encourage all of you to be disciplined. Discipline has always been our trademark. Please don't lose it. You will be provoked. You will be challenged. But hold discipline as a weapon, because that is one thing that has helped us.
Upon all the NUP members, wherever you are, more especially the one whom we are going with to accompany our president on his campaign trail. So in that way, I request you guys to behave well, to have discipline as our core values. In the same way, I expect to get a return from the police. If you behave well, also police should also behave well.
Before setting off for Jinja, a prayer was offered for Kyagulanyi as he embarks on the presidential campaign.
Omukisa gwa Katonda gugende naawe emirembe gyonna, tambulyanga mu mukisa,
kyonoyogeranga mukama katonda nakiwuliranga.
Fadhili subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Accompanied by the top NUP leaders, he was cheered by the crowds near Makerere Kavule headquarters, waving as the convoy made its way out. Oko Joseph and Jamil Sekaja, UBC.
Let's turn our attention now to the Forum for Democratic Change presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi, who has promised people in Buikwe that when voted into power, he will give every village 100 million shillings to get them out of poverty. Mafabi was speaking in Nkokonjero in Buikwe, Chagwe, on his first campaign canvassing votes for presidency to lead Uganda from 2026 to 2031. Take a watch.
FDC presidential candidate for 2026 general elections, Nandala Mafabi has commenced campaign programs starting from Buikwe in Chagwe. Mafabi held his first rally at Nkokonjelu, Tuchiyindi, then Buikwe town, Lugazi town, and the last rally was in Njeru. Places like Najembe Market, police allowed him to speak to the vendors. Mafabi asked people in Buikwe to vote for him, promising to give each village 100 million shillings every year to get them out of poverty. Nandala says his expertise in issues of economy is enough for him to get people out of poverty, and he is to do this through fighting corruption. Namwanga Sharifa, the FDC aspirant for woman parliamentary representative, has called on people to vote all FDC flag bearers at all levels if they want to see transformation in leadership. Other FDC members who accompanied Mafabi are Patrick Oboya-Muriat, the FDC president, and others. Tuesday, the FDC presidential candidate will hold his campaigns in Buvuma district after head to Kasese and Bundibujo.
Now, Farida reporting there. Now, the president of the Common Man's Party, Haj Mubarak Munyagwa, has launched his campaign roadmap for the 2026 presidential elections in Katanga Kawempe division. Munyagwa first served his supporters with pilau before unveiling his manifesto for the presidency. We have more in this story.
Haji Mubarak Munyagwa, the president of the Common Man's Party, has launched his manifesto for presidency to lead the Republic of Uganda 2026 to 2031.
Manifesto twatandikidde bwayise mu katale gye twalidde ekyemisana ne batwaniriza obulungi ne tugenda ko masjid ne batwaniriza obulungi.
Man's Manifesto, it is one of its kind since independence. It's only UPC which tried to come out with such a policy statement in 1969, but now we have come up with a comprehensive Common Man's Manifesto.
Munyagwa's first rally was held in Katanga Kawempe division, where Common Man's Party committed towards solving fundamental governance issues of Uganda.
Guided by the market. Mu government yaffe temugenda kubaamu school fees mu masomero ga private. Amasomero ga private gonna tugenda geddiza gabeere ga government.
Munyagwa, whose symbol is a metallic platter, first served his supporters with the pilau, fried and flavored rice, to signify shared responsibility and togetherness.
Security mwongera okugaidinga abantu awo abali mu line bemukolako.
The party unveiled several flag bearers, especially those vying for different positions in Kampala and Busoga sub-region.
Mundaize leero mzee kansala gwe mugenda okuddamu okulaba wa LC5
amba katuleta omwana ono kulwa mekanika agenda tusikire kugombola.
Munyagwa decried of the security agencies for threatening people to attend his rallies.
We are not happy with the police. You see, too much police presence scare away people. It would be prudent that a candidate only moves with police, which was attached him by the Electoral Commission. But when they see too many police officers, you see people supporting from a distance. This is very bad.
According to the Electoral Commission campaign roadmap, Mbalaka Munyagwa tomorrow, 30th of September 2025, is expected to be in Bogweri, though the party announced his presence in Makindye tomorrow.
Leaders and supporters of the Uganda People's Congress, UPC, from the Greater North have threatened to protest against the Electoral Commission for failing to nominate Jimmy Akena among presidential candidates. In a declaration read by Alebtong District Chairperson, the party claims the decision was politically motivated.
UPC party loyalists gathered at the home of Jimmy Akena in Lira City to pray to God for divine intervention. The special prayer, lasting 3 days, is part of the planned protest and to show solidarity with their party president, Jimmy James Michael Akena. Akena was among other aspirants whose nomination was rejected by Electoral Commission to run for presidency. According to the commission, none of the aspirants met the constitutional requirements to be recognized as a UPC flag bearer.
We collected our signature. We fulfill all the requirements as was put in the guideline of the Electoral Commission.
In a statement on Sunday, the UPC Northern leaders believe this was done in bad faith because the party had given Akena an extension.
The law says any constitution which fights against the supreme constitution of this country is not regarded. It should change itself. And UPC had a delegates conference, yes, which constituted, and they changed that article in the constitution, yes, of UPC, which was fighting the mother constitution of 1995 as amended.
They also called upon civil society to pay attention to the erosion of democracy.
We demand the following. Number one, immediate reversal of the Independent Electoral Commission's decision. 2, recognition of Honorable Jimmy Akena as the legitimate UPC presidential candidate. 3, a formal apology to Uganda People's Congress and its supporters.
And therefore, if Jimmy Michael Akena is not going to be on ballot, we have showed you our alliance and we mean it as the youth, and we are going to stand for it as the youth. We shall support it.
The Electoral Commission closed nomination for presidency with the 8 candidates duly nominated on Wednesday, September 24th. Meanwhile, as UPC pushes for nomination, other parties have drawn campaign programs. Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
Thanks, Eddie, for that story. We'll now take a short break, but we'll be returning with business news.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabode super mustairo mpia. Then you kabode smartphone nevi yakabibiona. MTN kabode super mustairo mpia. Then you kabode smartphone nevi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpola in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
2
Two nations, one destination. The Consulate General of Uganda in Mombasa presents the 4th Uganda-Kenya Coast Tourism Conference and Exhibition, a celebration of the intermarriage of tourism between Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, and Kenya, the Pride of Africa. Discover Uganda's adventure, from gorilla trekking and whitewater rafting to Kenya's rich wildlife and world-famous beaches. Delegates from Uganda will enjoy an exclusive fam trip to Kenyan coast from the 22nd to the 26th of October. Even tee off at the golf tournament at Vipingo Ridge on the 25th October, followed by the conference on the 27th to the 28th of October at Ocean Beach Resort and Spa in Malindi. Register today on our website www.thetourismconference.org. Join us and be part of the future where Uganda meets Kenya and Africa shines brighter.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800-217-200 or WhatsApp 0707-993-930.
Wendy Wanaoli.
The Office of the President, under the Apex Platform Secretariat, informs government ministries, departments, agencies, development partners, civil society organizations, private sector, academia and the general public that a pre-Apex meeting will be held on 30th September 2025 at Sheraton, Kampala. This high-level dialogue will focus on the performance of the service sector and its impact on growth and employment over the last 15 years, 2010 to 2025, under the theme Beyond the Numbers, making the service sector responsive to the well-being of the citizenry. Please note, attendance is by invitation. Apex Platform, managing for impactful results.
Set to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Coffee Spirit, Simba G. Coffee Spirit, Simba G. Check out now the cup. SMS the code. Wamure virabo. Tulaga manyi. Karuka sita wabuza.
Masaba maji. Masaba maji.
Bikole Masavu ne Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win border borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Tonight here on UBC TV. On sign language, it is Senyomo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. And in business, we look at that a very, very special segment, and that is Buza Commissioner, where the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority gets to answer the questions that you sent to him in the past days, and especially from you, the business community. Take a watch.
Welcome you once again to this episode of Buza Commissioner. I thank you for listening to us, and this evening I would like to start by announcing to you yet another opportunity for taxpayers who have tax liabilities to clear with URA, that there is an opportunity for you to clear these liabilities without paying any interest or penalty. The government of Uganda has come up with a new tax measure recognizing the challenges that taxpayers have been going through with the COVID pandemic and the impact it had on businesses. And therefore, in this financial year, the government has extended the waiver of interest and penalties, and we've captured this in our tax procedures code, section 47B, and this gives an opportunity to every taxpayer who has an outstanding liability as at 30th of June 2024, any tax that was due by that date and was not paid and is now a burden on the taxpayer, meaning it has two components to it. It has the principal tax assessed, but it also has the interest that has accrued. All that interest and penalty would be waived as long as the taxpayer is able to pay the principal tax before the 30th of June 2026. This waiver covers all domestic taxes, including income tax, VAT, local excise duty, rental tax, gaming tax, and other domestic taxes. The only taxes not covered under this waiver are customs taxes and also penalties that are not based on principal tax. So penalties like penal tax for not applying digital stamps, penal tax for non-compliance with IFRIS, those are not covered under this waiver. And penal tax for failure to apply, to register for certain taxes, or failure to provide information when needed. Now, the rest of the tax heads under domestic taxes qualify for this waiver. So I would like to encourage all our taxpayers to take advantage of this, and also to remind you that this is the third time the government is coming up with this measure. The only difference is that during the previous two times when we have extended this waiver to taxpayers, the period for implementation has been 6 months. And we noticed that a number of businesses missed the opportunity because of cash flow constraints. And based on this, government has now extended this for a full financial year. So everybody who owes, just plan to clear your taxes before the 30th of June. And would recommend and encourage you, if you do not have all the money at one go, please pay in installments. It is acceptable to pay your taxes in installments as long as the last installment is in before the 30th of June 2026. And even if it got to that date before you've cleared the entire principal tax, at least for the portion which you will have cleared the principal tax, the interest and penalty thereof relating to the portion that you will have cleared will also be waived. In other words, the application of waiver will be applied pro rata. To the extent that you have paid that, the interest will be waived. And therefore, I encourage all our taxpayers not to miss the bus again, because this may be the final time government comes up with such a waiver to help those businesses that are struggling with clearing tax liabilities. Who qualifies? Everybody qualifies as long as you have tax arrears that were due by the date of 30th June 2024. I want to thank you very much, our dear taxpayers, and to encourage you to take advantage of this waiver so that you do not suffer with the burden of paying interest. The government has already stepped in for you, and that interest and penalty will be waived. Then you can just concentrate on paying the principal tax without any penalties. I thank you very much.
The Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, John Musinguzi Rujokti, ending that segment there of Buza Commissioner. And of course, that brings us to the end of this bulletin. But do remember that our second and final edition of News Tonight comes your way at 10 p.m. when we shall have an expanded bulletin from the newsroom. And on behalf of the entire newsroom, I'm Rukidi Edward Kichenongoma, wishing you a blessed night. But do remember that coming up next is the presidential speech for the NRM manifesto 2026-2031 that was given earlier this evening.
The NRM chairman, Radio Uganda Village, is pleased to inform the general public that His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and National Chairman of the NRM, will be officially launching his campaign of 2026-2031 on the 30th of September 2025 at Luwera Kasana Playground. He calls upon the general public to turn up in big numbers to warmly welcome our beloved leader and to show him our full support as he begins this